everybody, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know, my name is Alan, and this channel is My Life in Taiwan, where I share some of the interesting, fun aspects of life as an expat Brit, living and working here in the beautiful country of Taiwan. And as well as sharing some of those kinds of things, I also answer some of the big questions regarding this beautiful little island nation that the world maybe wants to know. And today's video is exactly that, as I am going to be discussing whether or not Taiwan can actually be classified as a developed country. But before I give you my answer, I thought it would be important to clarify the true definition of what makes a country developed or not, because there are in fact two different ways of classifying countries as developed or not. You could go down the subjective route of looking at the infrastructure, the buildings, the financial strength of a particular country, and then make your own judgment as to whether or not it's developed. Or you could follow the dictionary definition, which lists certain criteria that rank different countries relative to each other, such as gross domestic product, gross national product, per capita income, and other economic variables that basically allow each country to be numerically ranked above or below others. The problem with this method comes, however, when you move your finger down the list of top-ranked developed countries into the middle of the list. Then where do you draw the line between fully developed, developing, and lesser developed countries? And the UN, for instance, officially state that there is no established convention for the designation of developed and developing countries or areas in the United Nations system. Basically, the UN admitting that the term developed country is almost impossible to define objectively. So that's a little bit of background into developed countries and the definition behind them, but let's get back to the point of this video, Taiwan, and whether or not it is a developed country. Well, if you look around you upon arriving here, you will see what appears to be a very well-developed country. And if you were to ask me before making this video and before I conducted the research into the topic, then my answer would simply be, yes, of course Taiwan is a developed country. Maybe you guys can let me know what you think in the comment section about what criteria you judge a country's developedness on. But for me, it will be things like having a healthcare system, a decent amount of exports bringing money into the country, a rail network, infrastructure, free and decent education, low unemployment, things like this, not to mention the literal signs of development and building and expansion of cities that we can see here in Taichung and many cities around the country. For me, according to my personal definition, Taiwan is indeed a developed country. Yes, there is room for improvement. As I mentioned in some of my other videos, traffic is far from developed. The cultural mix here is still very one-sided, and some of the health and safety practices that I see taking place during the aforementioned construction projects is still very much that of a developing country. But in almost all other areas, we are a developed country. But I can understand that some people will argue with this and will need objective facts and figures to verify Taiwan's developed country status. So I did a little bit of digging online, and despite the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, the UN don't have an established convention for the designation of developed countries, they do release what is known as the Human Development Index, the HDI, which takes into account much more than just a country's income per capita and financial well-being. This HDI takes into account how income is turned into education and health opportunities, and therefore into higher levels of human development. Now, I'm probably inviting lots of criticism onto my channel by including this report in my research, because as it is a UN United Nations report, Taiwan are unfortunately excluded from taking part. I'm not going to get into my opinions on that in this video. If you want to know whether or not I think the country of Taiwan is a country or not, then go watch my video entitled Is Taiwan a Country?, in which I clearly state the country of Taiwan is a country. But anyway, this HDI gives each country an overall score between 0 and 1, with scores closer to 1 being the most developed countries according to the criteria mentioned earlier. And while Norway topped the list with a score of 0.953, my country of the UK comes in at 14th with 0.922, and cross-strait neighbours China came in 86th place with a score of 0.752. Taiwan, had they been included, would have come in at 21st position with a score of 0.907, somewhere between Luxembourg and Austria. Albeit Taiwan's score was calculated by the Taiwanese government itself, but the last time the UN did actually calculate Taiwan's HDI was back in 2009, when Taiwan was given a score of 0.943 and ranked 25th in the world. So admittedly, there's lots of facts and figures and numbers there, and as mentioned earlier, this UN issue makes it even more complicated to officially classify Taiwan as a developed country according to the dictionary definition. But as somebody who has lived here for such a long time, after living in the UK for almost all of my life previously, when it comes to the issue of being developed or not, there is simply no way that someone cannot classify this amazing little island country as being developed. All of those facts and figures just give us something to back up our feelings. But of course, I'm sure there are people here who will disagree with me, and I look forward to receiving all of your comments and reasons for arguing down in the comment section below. What do you think makes a country developed or not? And what are the criteria for classifying such a question? Whatever you think, whatever you have to say, whether you agree or disagree with me, then let me know in the comment section down below, and as usual, we'll have a bit of a chat. Other than that, and actually giving you the facts and figures that I've already given you, I don't think there's much more to be said on it. For me, as far as I'm concerned, Taiwan is obviously a developed country, and not just by a small margin, it's quite clearly a majorly developed country. But anyway, before I let you go, there is some things I want to talk about. The first of which you may have noticed at the start of the video. My computer has had somewhat of a color upgrade. The ostentatious orange has been changed for a garish green. That orange cover was absolutely battered to death. Therefore, I've changed to a slightly different, but equally as bright and beautiful, bright green. And I've got no stickers. What I'm asking you to do, if you have any stickers of your company or beautiful stickers you find from around Taiwan, whether you're traveling, working, or I don't know, whatever you want to send me some stickers. Smaller the better, of course, therefore I can fit more on there, and I'll decorate this MacBook cover with some beautiful stickers from my awesome team VVVIP. Send them to the address in the description down below. And one more thing, you may have noticed there's been a black box sitting here for the duration of this video. Well, this was sent to me by a Swedish company called Studio. They are an audio company out of Sweden that design some beautiful products according to what I've seen on their website, and they haven't paid me a penny. They have, of course, sent me some free earpods, but no payment has exchanged hands. What they are offering is a 15% discount on their website off all of their beautifully designed products. Let's take a look at this. I'm not really an unboxing kind of guy, but the reason I wanted to do this, I'm going to ask you, my team VVVIP, would you like to see more unboxing videos? It's not something I usually do unless it's made in Taiwan. Okay, what have we got? We have got, and this is the product, Studio Niva in-ear earphones. Wow, okay, so we've got carry case, and there we have the in-earbud earphones. Let's hook it up. Okay, 5分鐘我離開 Initial. I actually have to take them out because they cancel out the sound so well. I can't hear myself. initial review, 1 minute review, pretty good, nice and bassy, nice loud volume, which I always like. But if you want a full review on the Studio Neva headphones, then by all means, get in touch. Let me know down below if you want to see more technology reviews. I think I'm going to wrap this video up now. This restaurant behind me are getting a bit antsy about me filming in front of their restaurant. Therefore, I'm going to make a hasty getaway. But before I do, I'm going to remind you, don't forget to like the video if you've enjoyed it. Share it with any of your friends if you think they would like to watch a middle-aged, overweight British guy talking about their country. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Not forgetting, of course, to give my bell a little ring. And that way, YouTube will let you know of any new videos as and when they come out. If you don't ring that bell, then I'm going to disappear into the dark recesses of your YouTube app. But as usual, I'm waffling now. Time for me to say goodbye. And as always, I'll see you next time in My Life in Taiwan. Peace.